until he's 6 feet right set. Now on to the show you didn't know that you needed. Your brain to do be seated. Nothing but the truth and never a lie. Come on, next is live, let's go, guys. Next is live, let's go, guys. Come on, next is live, let's go, guys.
Come on, next is live. Let's go, guys. Oh, Lord, what did I do? I went into settings. This is what I want to do. Stop cam. Okay, you can hear me and see me. We're back. Holy crap. So sorry about that. Lord have mercy. I think it's fixed, and I think I have a backup. I don't know. It'll be fine. We're here. That's all that matters. Nicotine. I almost cried too. Dale Zang Toots. Nice to see you. Maggie Flowers. Okay, we're all here. Ready to do Mickey Mouse roll call. We're ready to go. Okay, so listen. This is why we're here today. Clara is fighting back this time. Okay, you remember the first lawsuit? Hussey took Clara Hondra to court for slander, defamation, libel, and Clara settled it. 75 hundo, and her and Ron signed a non-disparagement, non-disclosure agreement. And then almost immediately, Ron broke the non-disparagement, non-disclosure agreement. Hussey's attorney sent Ronaldo and Clara Hondra a letter saying, you done already broke it. Pay us another, what was it? How much? How much was it? I don't remember. Was it $2,500? Pay us another $2,500 or we're taking you back to court. And what did Clara Hondra do? Forked over the money and told Ron to shut his trap. And then what happened? Right, Frosted and Gold? Yeah, it was weight loss picture broke the internet for sure. Well, apparently, according to Husseth and his lawyer, Hondra, they broke it again. So now they have filed suit again in a Washington, D.C. court. This time, Ron was named as a defendant, as was Clara. This time it is a breach of contract suit. Just, I think in August, both parties up Ron as a defendant in the breach of contract suit. We have only recently come to find out that the reason why Ron was dropped as a defendant in the breach of contract suit is because Ron is basically mentally unstable and hopped up on psychiatric medications. Yes, I said lawyer Hondra. Hey, blessed Dutchie. Yes, Bunneth, we're back for real this time. Lord have mercy. We better be anyway. Don't worry. If it goes up this time, I think I know how to fix it. I think I messed up my tethering last time and that was a problem. But anyway, point is, we found out recently that the reason why Ron was dropped from the breach of contract suit as a defendant is because of his mental illness. He's that batshit crazy and on that many powerful psychiatric medications that Hussey's lawyer, I guess, decided it wasn't worth having him named as a defendant. So he was dropped. And then Husseth comes back just a few weeks ago and out of nowhere files what was it? An amendment to the breach of contract suit, and now is naming not only Ron as a defendant again, but also AK. AK, who had nothing to do with the original lawsuit for which this now breach of contract lawsuit has stemmed from. Batshit crazy all the way around. Yes, Lisa Simpson, we can legally call him crazy because it's now in court documents. That's right. Bradley D says we call him Lithium Ron. DG, I don't disagree with that. She is batshit crazy as well. Joanna Freedom says, so are they going to take his guns? That's a good question, Joanna Freedom. I think it's my opinion. I mean, look, not only have we heard out of Ron's own mouth with him on camera on his own Rumble channel, straight out of his mouth, he's talked about how severely mentally ill he is, and he's supposedly going through intense therapy and on several different psychiatric medications. Yet, and Clara surely knows all of this on account of Clara lives in the household with him. She's aware of all of it. She talks about his mental illness freely as well. Yet here we have Clara Hondra in the 2 years that she's been a resident of the great state of Indiana, has purchased how many firearms in her name that have then ended up in the hands of Ronald Corbin. There's a word for that. I think they call those straw purchases, and those are illegal in the state of Indiana. I believe those are felonies involving firearms. Imagine that. Imagine using his crazy to get out as a shield to get out of accountability in a civil lawsuit, only come to find out that admission in court documents in a lawsuit could potentially land Clara in an Indiana jail on felony charges for straw purchases of firearms. Imagine that. Right, Bradley D? I came looking for you, Sam. With whose guns? Guns that were purchased in whose name? Ronaldo. Anyway, I digress. That's not why we're here today. We're here today because Clara Hondra, this time around, she's not just going to settle with Hussey. Clara's not going to break out the checkbook this time. She says, not so fast. This time I'm fighting back. So this document was e-filed in a Washington, D.C. Superior Court 2 days ago, October 23rd. And you're not going to believe what Clara has done. She's pulling out the big gun. She's still writing checks. She's still handing over her dead aunt's money. She's fighting back. She has hired an expert witness in the case. And this is a 20-page document that is absolutely fucking glorious. Y'all want to know the long and the short of it? The long and the short of it is that this expert witness has decided, based on his expert analysis, basically the gist of it is that Hussey's social media presence has been analyzed and evaluated by an expert, one Preston D. Mitchum, and he has decided that Hussey he doesn't even quantify or qualify as a social media influencer, and certainly not one who is monetizing their presence on social media to any degree, which would then justify and substantiate his claims of severe financial losses. Unknown suspect, Jean. Thank you so much for gifting 10 Samantha Jean memberships. Brioche, DV, really, Hellfire. Nice to see you, Hellfire. Oh, look, T-Girl. T-Girl got shook out the tree. Where is my mouse pad? Terry Lynn. Mainly Maine. Nice to see you, Mainly Maine. Game Vibes. Phoenix Miss. Welcome. Welcome all new members. So nice to see you. We even shook one out of the tree. Holy crap. Let me scroll back up. Let's see. T-Girl. Where are you? Oh, T-Girl, this is not the first time you've been shook out the tree. Girl, you just love us. You just cannot leave us. We love that. Glad to have you back, T-Girl. If you get shook out the tree one time, that's one thing. Twice, that means you're back. Nice to see you, T-Girl. Nice to have you back. I put an asterisk by your name so everybody knows that you were not just shook out the tree once, but twice. You're back. Nice to have you. All right, I'll just put that right over there just in case. Oh, Missing Mimic says like the third time? Really? You know what, Missing Mimic? I'm going to take your word for it. That'll be 2 asterisk next to T-Girl's name. 1 and 2. All right. Welcome back, T-Girl. T-Girl, come say hello. Like Hugh Jass. Yes, yes. Indeed. Thank you so much, Unknown Suspect Jean. I appreciate the support of my channel. I appreciate you so much. Drama B says, but wait, what about her haircut? That's a serious crime too. I wanted to talk about that real quick. Have you guys noticed that Clara's hair is looking much fuller? especially up top. I think she got a, what is it? Where's, Bonatandra? Bonatandra has been recommending, a topper for Clara for quite some time. I think she finally took, Bunny's expert advice and got herself a topper. That's what it looks like to me. I wanna have a look real quick? Hold on. Mm, wait, let me pause that. Oh, why is it like that? Whatever. Here she is. I think I sacrificed her tab for something else. Now let me go back to the beginning of this where it's a little closer up. I'm not sure. Now that I see this, and this is the most recent. This was from 13 hours. Members we have and how much nobody wants to hear anything you have to say. We just want to look at you and analyze the top of your head. She had extensions previously, Kimberlina, for a long time, for over 2 years, and they looked like shit. Missing Mimic thinks she got hair fibers. I don't know. Don't want to hear your voice, so we'll just mute you. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see her in action. I don't know. I'm seeing some scalp up here. You know what? It wasn't this live stream that I seen that made me think that. Which one was it? Let's see. Well, I didn't watch any of that. Perhaps. Oh, I think it was this one. I think this is the one. Yeah, look at that. Where's Bonathandra? Says, oh, volumizer. Oh, Bunny says that is not a topper and it's simply volumizer. Really? All right. Well, let's see. She plays with her hair quite a bit in this one. Look at her right off top. Let's see what she had to say here.
Hello. Hi, Anna.
By the way, this was 4 days ago. This was, I think she addresses Ronaldo not being in the home anymore and their breakup. I am still team they broke up. There's most definitely trouble in paradise. And I think she's even like, why would Ron leave his own home? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's just shut up. Let's just listen and see if this is the one.
Hello, Lancaster, California. Hi, Say Cheese. How are you? All right, you guys. We have
She's messing with the hair a lot.
Beth. We've got a lot of ground to cover today.
Probably a hair thickening shampoo, volumizer, and a good diffuser. I just don't see her putting that degree of effort into it, Wicked Crafter. I could be wrong.
So we're going to get right into it. I didn't forget my coffee this time.
Two Cardinals, I agree with that. They were never really together in a romantic sense anyway. This was a business arrangement. I definitely agree with that, but I also feel like Clara has really, over the course of the last couple of years, come to like believe that that Ron is her man. I really do think that she's in that delusion, much like how Chantel is in her delusion that she's in an actual marriage with Salah. Same thing.
Now, got a lot of stuff to discuss.
Hey, great YouTube handle. Oh, yes. 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 I'm so glad we watched this one because this is the one. I wanted to watch this one with you. And I'm tapping it back. I am. It's very important. I want you guys to watch this from the beginning. Also keep an eye on chat. Okay. Watch.
Hello. Hi, Anna. Hello, Lancaster, California. Hi, Say Cheese. How are you? All right, you guys. Hi, Beth. We've got a lot of ground to cover today, so we're going to get right into it. I didn't forget my coffee this time. Now,
I'm sorry. Who still drinks coffee out of coffee mug? Put a 1 in the chat if you still drink coffee out of a fucking mug and not some sort of like insulated coffee tumbler. I'll tell you who's still drinking coffee out of coffee mugs. Old people, old fogies. Yes, Kimberlina, Ron dumped her for Liz. Yes. Sperm everywhere. Nice to see you. Glad you're here. It seems like DZ has lost a lot being with Ron. I hope for her sake she's at least getting laid. Oh, sperm everywhere, please. Oh, all of you still drink your coffee out of mugs? You're all old. I know you are. I know you're over the age of 65 or approaching it. Lisa Simpson, no, you cannot kick out all the ones. Fallen Angel 69_69. Ma'am, I'm only 32. All right. I don't know. I can't drink coffee out of a mug. It doesn't keep it hot. I don't understand the point. Plus, you know what I feel like when I'm drinking coffee out of a ceramic mug? I feel like a fogey, an old fogey, an old fart. Anyway, whatever. Watch. Listen. Watch. She's about to pick up her phone. Okay. Look at that Amber chick over there, back with the attic once again. I love that for you, that Amber chick. I'm glad you're over there. Freak. Okay, but listen and watch. She's about to get on her phone.
Got a lot of stuff to discuss. Hang on.
Can you hear her breathing? Listen to her. Hang on. She's texting. Notice who's not in chat. Ronaldo.
I need to respond to a text message. All right. I'm back. Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. Hello. Happy Sunday. I'm here.
She's back.
Okay.
After that very important text that she had to answer right at the beginning of her stream.
So guess what? Guess what? Kalari uploaded a video. One of you biggest cry bullies.
Oh, there he is. As soon as she gets done returning a very important text, there's old Ronaldo in chat. And I'll have you know, this was the first time Ronaldo appeared in chat on his Bannovating YouTube channel with the handle 7-Year Itch. He changed it on October the 20th to 7-Year Itch. And that text message, in my opinion, was Ronaldo telling her, I've changed my name to 7-Year Itch. That's me in chat. That's what I think that text message was. Yeah, the first message, because she was on her phone twice. The first one, her telling her, you better get your ass in here. The second one, him telling her, I'm coming and I'm 7 years.
Decided to upload a video, and we are going to start with that because how could we not? Hey, Weezen. Weezen, I am afraid that we have no idea where the horse went. We don't know. The horse has gone somewhere, and we don't know. Hi, Amber. We're not aware, so I guess we're just going to have to wait. Hello, 7-Year. How are you? I did it wrong. Okay.
How embarrassing. Brioche, yes. 7-Year Itch is when 7-Year Itch is when you want to look outside your relationship. That's right, Brioche. Missing Mimic, that Amber is not the rug pisser. That Amber chick is not the same as Amber Murphy, the rug pisser who's on her way to prison to serve the rest of her 10-year sentence. I think I'm joking. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see what next week brings for you and your probation officer. Oh, Amber. Anyway. Did you hear her do that sound, that noise? That's the noise that Ron says he and his son always do to one another. First time ever I've heard Clara make that sound. And that in itself is telling. You should have just not done that, Clara. That spoke volumes.
Wait. Hello, 7-Year. How are you? I did it wrong. Okay.
Weirdo. You shouldn't have done it at all. That was so weird.
Kalari.
Oh, there's another message. Also notice the way Ron comes into chat. He just comes in after she messages him and tells him he better be in chat. And he says, I'm coming. I'm 7-Year Itch. She puts her phone down. Not 2 seconds later, he pops up in chat and he says, sup. Now we all know Ron. We've all known Ron for a very long time. This is Ron being ornery and defiant as fuck. This is Ron showing up in chat only because he's told he damn well better. Sup. And then after she greets him with that warm welcome, hi, 7-Year. So good to see you. He simply says, LOL.
7-Year.
Oh,
so I guess we're just going to have to wait. Hello, 7-Year. How are you? I did it wrong. Okay.
That's so weird because she claims that Ron's not left the household and they're still together and all that shit. Yet she greets him by saying, "Hello, how are you?" I live in the same home with my wife under the same roof. We've not been separated for any period of time over the course of the last few weeks. We don't greet one another and chat with, "Hi, how are you?" No, not at all. Hold on a second. Hang that up. Sus.
Clara,
And look at his response to her saying hello and making that Pee Wee Herman sound. He just says LOL. And did you hear her phone? Did you hear her phone go whoom because she got a new message? Listen.
Clara, you really haven't figured out how this shit is done, right? You don't get it, do you? Nobody comes after me, my family, and decides that they're just going to walk away and they're not going to engage anymore. I'm not done. I'm not done because you went at it for months. So you owe me.
What the fuck is she talking about? Bradley D says she's asking, "How are you?" Because that fucker has erratic mood swings. That's right. Within 5 minutes, he could go from stable to yelling and screaming. That's right. And yet she has purchased how many firearms and put them in that freak's hands?
I am owed
Oh, yeah, she's pissy and not with Kalari.
months and months and months
Hey, honey West, nice to see you.
of responses. You came after me. You came at
That's right, Kelly Jean. Yaba just kicks my damn door in, and I kick her door in too. Can't help but notice that the door to the room that Clara's sitting in Ron's grandma's house is ajar. It's open. I'd just like to know why Ronaldo doesn't show himself. If they're so dead set on everyone believing that they're not broke up and he's not shacked up over there with Liz, why doesn't he just pop his head in the door?
after my family, including Negs, including, yes, my mother, when you decided that you were going to pipe up about scoliosis and mock it. And then, I don't know if you guys heard, but she was on panel with Jan on Friday. And Jan came out with a statement. I don't know if it was Jan Kalari. It doesn't even make a difference anymore. That my problem is that I am just incredibly jealous of both of them. What am I jealous of exactly? You mind explaining the fact that Kalari doesn't have teeth, the fact that she's a liar, the fact.
Oh, look. Ron is speaking in chat again. He says, Anna, LOL. What was Anna's comment? Anna's comment was, "Oh, for once, it's not me texting her while she's streaming. Ha ha." Oh, thank you for that piece of information, Anna Nicole. We can cross Anna Nicole's name off the list of people who could potentially have been the one texting her. We already know it was Ronaldo.
That she's nasty, the fact that she was giving money to some of the worst content creators on the platform, and now that she's been escorted out of all those communities, now she's hanging out with you and Bridget, which is perfect as far as I'm concerned. What am I jealous of, Jan? Am I jealous of your amazing ability to paint rocks like a kindergarten project? Is that what I'm jealous of? Am I jealous of your horrible artwork? Am I jealous of your hoarded out shithole of a house? What exactly am I jealous of? Am I jealous of your incredible views and your incredibly influential channel? I'm not getting what it is.
Oh, look, there's Ron, never missing an opportunity to be a fucking racist. They have a melanin complex.
That I'm jealous of, or your ability through your wit and your dropping of facts to destroy people's careers, like you said you were going to destroy Karsten's career. The last time I looked, Karsten was fine, but I did notice that
sperm everywhere. I wouldn't say that Kalari is necessarily hated over here, but it turns out she was problematic, and she had some concerning problematic behavior online that was uncovered. And so, yeah, that's basically the long and the short of it.
Jan always loves to get an opportunity to take a swipe at my infertility because that is something that she has accomplished that I haven't, which is having children. Okay. How sad for you, Jan? How sad for you? And then when people come back and they respond to you or to Calorie or Bridget, you play the race card. Well, I wonder why it is that you feel that you have the right to come for me, to take these personal swipes at me. Is it because I'm Jewish? Because I'm pale skinned? So you think that you have this innate sort of superiority over me? What does that superiority consist of? May I ask? If that's not too rude of a question. But let's start with, yeah, Jan is one of the biggest racists on the platform. And so is Bridget. Both of them are. And they're both fucking insane.
Look, the last time that Clara did her little text message and responded to a text message, I don't know if you guys noticed, but she kind of slammed her phone down, kind of like tossed it down like she was irritated. I believe that message she got after Ron came in and she said hello and made that weird sound. And then she was text again. I think that was Ron saying, "There, I showed my face I'm not saying shit else. And she told him, you damn well better participate in this chat. Flung her phone down, and here he is. He is following orders. Why? Because he's broke and probably hungry, probably needs some drugs. I don't know.
Insane. And so naturally, Clara, with her 3,000 mental illnesses, is over there hanging out with them because that's the perfect place for her. It's the ideal community. It's the only community left that will have her. No, she doesn't live in London, John. She's not in London. And I'm not saying that because I know where she lives. She did win one of my giveaways. This is of people who win gifts. Hello, Andy. How are you? Vlog 2024. I just want to let you know, Clara, he was trying to. I'm not.
Okay, maybe this isn't the one where she was like, why would he leave his own house? I think it was the one before then. Hold on. Live. Yeah, because she was wearing this ridiculous red hoodie in both of them. Well,
but before we get into that, I want to thank the subscriber, and I'm not going to mention their name. The subscriber sent me now this to pick it up.
That?
I let the subscriber know. This person let me know cup.
Wait, no, I did not see this one. Hold on. See, this is what happens, guys. So tie-dye red hoodie, black hoodie. Did she take one down?
I was actually going to do a different topic today on the stream. I was going to cover and all her crew on that topic, and Fatso's for a reason to take my channel down. AK is over there frantically trying to find ways to report me for what I'm not sure. Hi, Beth. How are you? Negs and I do not own this channel. We have not broken TOS, but if you want to go ahead and make an argument to YouTube, go ahead. All that I am going to say is that this time around.
Okay, this was the 17th, which was the last day I streamed.
I am not going
to
sure be quite as
it was the red hoodie one. Okay, Nikki, thank you. I just don't remember that Tumblr, that hideous Tumblr.
Hello. Happy Saturday, everybody. Good to see you all. Hello, everybody in chat.
Well, I'm going to put it on live chat because let's see if Ronaldo comes in. What day is this? The 19th. Okay, so this was what, last Saturday?
Hello. It's good to see everybody. So we've got some fun today. Got a fun stream.
She dyed her hair blacker, you think, JoJo? Yeah, I think this is the one where I thought she had a topper.
Planned. But before we get into that, I want to thank the subscriber, and I'm not going to mention their name because you know how people get around here. They're going to end up getting their entire family tree doxed if I mention their username. My subscriber sent me a lovely, thoughtful gift. A Barbie Stanley Cup. Now, just to let everybody...
that's a knockoff. I'm going to tell you right now, that's a knockoff. I can tell it. Knock off. Oh, but that's nice.
No, I let the subscriber know. This person let me know that they had mailed it quite some time ago. Negs went to the post office to pick it up, and they found the slip in the P.O. box, but they couldn't find the package. So I finally went myself. I guess that they had a week or so to look for it, and they found it. And it also came with a beautiful card, which I don't have here at the moment. But I want to thank you for it. This
Look at her putting her old lady lipstick on. That's a knockoff. I can tell it.
This is the kind of thing that I never would have purchased for myself. But now that I own it, it is so useful. I filled it up with ice. Crochetter was asking me if I was going to buy. Oh, thank you. No, thank you. Crochetter asked me if I was going to get one of those trays so that I can go to McDonald's and put my French fries and my ketchup and my hamburger and all that. No, I'm not even going to buy one of those phone toasters or a ring holder or any of that stuff. Because I'm telling you, when this thing is full, it is a lethal weapon. It's very, very heavy. That might come in handy, actually. So I've got a long road trip coming up soon. And it's going to, thank you, Karsten. I appreciate that. I'm gonna have to put you guys on pause for a second because I've got to go get my coffee. I forgot it in the kitchen. I'll be right back.
Where's Ron? How come Ron's
I'm an idiot.
Ron's still not in the chat.
My coffee went fetch it. Now I have it. All right. So I know you guys have heard a lot of rumors.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I cut my hair too. I forgot to tell you. I did. It's not as short as Clara's, but it's short. Good.
You know, you're very curious about the truth. The truth.
Hey, not strawberry douche.
My response, well, I have an initial response for everybody who
that's right, addicted to cold brew. The handle's set too far down. It's a knockoff. I can spot a knockoff Stanley a mile away.
Listened to that and believed it and spread it around.
I do. Not strawberry douche. I love it so much. I got a long bob. Where is Bonatandra? I think she would approve. You don't pronounce the T in crochet. That's right.
Oh, was that too short? Let me pause a little longer so you guys can get a really good screenshot.
To look at her short little stubby fingers. Pictures or it didn't happen. I'll post a picture.
That's my response. Anyone who at this point...
Okay, wait. I guess we should slow it down now that we're there, huh? All right, here we go.
Would listen to anything that Sam has to say. Remember how Sean was going to get fired from the post office? Remember?
Well, lucky for Sean, he didn't get fired from the post office, but I can tell you with a degree of absolute fucking certainty that Sean was investigated by the United States Postal Inspector. There was disciplinary action taken, and It went in on his permanent record. So, no, Sean no longer works at the post office, does he? You wonder why. What, you think Sean chose to quit the post office and go DoorDash full time? Give me a fucking break. Hold on. I'm trying to take a picture. Oh crap. Well, whatever. I'll put one on Twitter. Don't worry about it. You think it put him on his last strike? For sure it did. For sure.
For the multiple times that
He didn't last at the post office not 6 months after all that shit went down, did he? No, he didn't. How about that?
Sam and Yaba claimed that Negs and I were going to get arrested. And
Oh, honey, honey, honey. I'm still making that claim. It's coming. You're going to jail. Ron's going to jail. Colby Hernandez is going to jail. Aaliyah Alexander's going to jail. And who else is on the short list? Oh, damn it, Amber's going to prison. Amber Murphy's going to prison. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. That's my priority list, I guess you could say.
And now that idiot AK is running with that. Everybody's going to get arrested and sued, starting with Kiwi Farms. I'm going to get arrested. I'm going to get sued because I'm in cahoots with Strawberry Douche, a person, or Aaliyah Alexander, a person who is not Strawberry Douche, with whom I have never communicated. I've never communicated.
Since when? Since when is Clara's position that Strawberry Douche is not Aaliyah Alexander? Since when? That's right, Lisa Simpson. That's right. How many times did we hear open the door, Sam, and nothing ever came of that?
Privately with Strawberry Douche, but somehow, Amy, even though you have to rely on the internet and your family to pay your legal expenses, you're going to come up with the 6 figures that is going to be required to drag people to court in a civil suit. But yeah, sure, go ahead. Why, yes. Why, yes, I do. I do. And as a matter of fact, Olive, I remember how they said they filed a police report. Where is that police report? Where's
the police report? I do believe I've read the police report. In fact, I believe I've shown it. There was a police report made back when those phone calls were made. There was just nothing there for them to work with. Basically, the detective attempted to call, what was his name? Corey Barnhill. And of course, Corey Barnhill didn't answer his phone and was located out of state, and it never went anywhere. What do you mean, where's the police report? I read it. I'm pretty sure I put it on the screen. I can look for it.
that police report? Yaba and Sam. And, you know, Yaba was
I mean, there's more police reports than just that. Do you want to hear the rest of them?
on AK's stream recently, and she's like, oh, we don't care about those calls. You know, but she wants to talk to me about the CPS visit that they allegedly had, for which they have not shown a shred of proof, by the way. And
didn't I play part of the phone call from the DCS caseworker supervisor when she called back and said that that the call should have been screened out of their system and that she's removed it from the system and there would be no investigation? Pretty sure I even showed the text messages between me and the first DCS caseworker who contacted us, and then they had to transfer it to a different office. What are you talking about? Yeah, I showed text messages from the first guy, and I played part of the phone call from the supervisor who called me back and said we're not even going to investigate it.
when was the last time that Sam and Yaba were too shy to show a CPS report on screen and humiliate their children? They've shown, you know, Yaba's birth certificate or the kids' birth certificates. So they have shown no evidence that CPS was ever.
Yes, we did. You're lying, Clara. You're lying. You're a lying liarton who lies.
Their home. And Yaba talked to me for the last time I counted, you had accused upwards of a dozen people of being responsible for that alleged CPS visit.
I'm confused as to that statement. Yaba's not indicated in any way whatsoever that she is interested in speaking with Clara Frank. So I'm not really sure where she gets that idea from, but okay.
So what particular wisdom do you think I have to impart? Just admit that you don't know if in fact that ever took place. Just admit that you have no fucking idea of who made the call. I mean, I know that in the past it's been very easy for you to accuse certain people of making the call, and people believed everything you said because they're idiots. And because you were attacking somebody who you didn't like and your community didn't like. So it was very easy for you to make those accusations. Well, guess what? It's not that easy anymore. Not only because you all have shown exactly who you are, but also because you've accused too many people. You accused me, you accused Negs, you accused Belinda, you accused Gigi, you accused Peanut.
Excuse me. When did we accuse Gigi, Belinda, or Peanut of making a DCS call on us? And I don't even recall accusing Clara Hondra. We have said over and over and over that Ronaldo is the one behind the DCS calls. He's the one. Listen, not once, not twice, but 3 fucking times. Actually 4 if you count the DCS call that he made on me in 2018. Same time he made one on Yaba in 2018. So that's 4 times that it just so happens that Ron goes on his social media and says all of these things that should be reported to CPS. And then lo and behold, within 48 to 72 hours, CPS is at the fucking door. Yeah, no, totally all just coincidence and has absolutely nothing to do with Ronaldo. What are you doing? What are you talking about, Clara?
You accuse Chantal. You've accused so many people of making that call.
Who accused Chantal? When? Where? We're going to need the clips. We're going to need the timestamps. We're going to need screenshots of us accusing any fucking buddy but Ron Corbin for making the DCS call. What are you talking about? See? You're sitting there fixing your mouth talking about why shouldn't anyone believe anything Sam and Yaba say? Why shouldn't anyone believe anything you say after the horse shit that just came out of your mouth? Just making shit up, just lying to lie. Speaking of which, why isn't Ron in your chat?
Make up your fucking mind, Yaba.
He did. He absolutely lost his shit when nothing came of that CPS call. 100% he did.
Make up your mind. So my response, besides,
I wouldn't put those short, stubby little fingers up in the air ever again if I were you.
Besides that, and yeah, I need a manicure.
Yes, you do.
Is anybody who believes that from the support bodega? I'm convinced that after hearing Sam lie so many times about so many things, so many people, so many events, sometimes tell different versions of a story in the same sentence. The only reason that I can think of that anybody would still believe her at this point is that the piss-soaked cat ladies in the community are losing.
Yeah. Also, Clara, if I were you, I wouldn't refer to anybody as piss soaked anything. I would just probably take those words out of my vocabulary. If you all recall, Ronaldo spilled the beans himself that Clara's dog is going all over Ron's grandma's house, pissing and shitting, literally soaking the flooring in Ron's grandma's house in dog piss, so much so to the extent to where it's dripping down from the kitchen into the basement. And you got the nerve to come up on here after everybody found that out because Ron told himself to refer to piss soaked anything. I love that for you. I love that for you, Clara. What do we always say? What Chantel's number 1 rule is Chantel lies. Ron and Clara's number 1 rule, projection. They're nothing but projection.
Their minds because of the sheer amount of ammonia in the air of their homes from all the cat pee that has soaked into the carpets, the fabrics, the curtains, the the side chairs, the sofa.
Just cannot believe that she doesn't just say cat piss soap ladies and keeps it pushing. No, she circles back around and literally describes in graphic detail everything she knows about homes soaked in cat piss.
City have had are losing their minds because of the sheer amount of ammonia in the air of their homes from all the cat pee that has it has soaked into the carpets, the fabrics, the curtains, the side chairs, the sofas, everything. Why do you believe a word that woman says? Why?
That's true, Lisa Simpson. They have pee pads all over their lying all over the house because they're too lazy to take people's out. And we know Bug just pisses wherever.
What inside
Hey, goodbye, Kyle.
sources does she have besides the voices in her head?
The inside sources that I have regarding you and Ron being broke up and Ron shacked up over there at Liz's until you piss off and find your own place. It's called common fucking sense. It's called I've seen Liz's social media to include her Facebook and TikTok. And I've seen old Ronaldo over there going live also on the TikTok and the live me. And they're in the same house. The wall color is exactly the same. The doors are exactly the same. Ron has not made an appearance at his grandma's house in weeks. Weeks.
So my response is no, of course it's not fucking true. Because I'm telling you, I would be very worried because if it is true that Negs left me for another woman, then I would be very concerned because there is a man who looks, sounds, speaks, talks, walks exactly like him living in the house.
Really? Where is he? I'll tell you where he wasn't on Saturday, October the 19th, when this live stream is going on. He wasn't working over at the store, that's for sure.
So if Negs has a doppelganger, if he has an identical twin, we've got a hell of a Hollywood movie script.
Motherfucker, if people were trying to say that me and Yaba were broke up and that she was off shacked up somewhere with another woman, living somewhere else, waiting for me to find a place and get the fuck out of her house. If they were accusing us of that and saying that was our situation, it absolutely fucking was not the situation. You bet your ass the next time I went live, I'd be cammed up and she'd be kicking my door in, come over, planting a fat, juicy kiss on my fat cheek. Ron couldn't even do that. He couldn't come in the room and come up behind you and be like, we're not broke up. We're still madly in love. See? That didn't happen. That motherfucker's not even in her chat.
To sell. No.
I love it when her nose whistles. I fucking love it.
No, it's not true.
No.
It's not true at all.
It's not true. It's not true. He's not here at the house right now, though. And he's not in my chat. But just believe me when I tell you it's not true.
Exactly. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah. And
Amber Chick had to remind her to make this point. Left his own house and everything. Come on now. Make it make sense.
why, let's say for the sake of argument that it was true, why would he leave his own home and allow me to stay? And then, of course, that conversation that totally took place, where, I was allegedly saying, oh, but I have nowhere to go. What am I going to do? Really? Because that's something that would obviously happen in real life, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you sold your condo in Washington, D.C. You don't have a residence anywhere else. You don't know anybody in the state of Indiana who you can go stay with until you find your own place. That is your home. You pay the bills there. Do you not? Yes, you do. We know that for a fact because you told people in the Discord. That is your residence. That is the address on your driver's license. He cannot just kick you out legally by law in the state of Indiana, and you know that. If Clara Hondra does not want to leave that house, the only thing that Ron can do to make her leave would be to file an eviction in the Fayette County Court and evict her out of the house. That ain't going to happen. So what choice did Ron have but to leave himself? Why would he leave his own home? Very simple. Very, very simple. Because Ron can't bring Liz to his grandma's house until Clara is gone. And it's going to take some time for Clara to find her own place and to agree to leave without having to be tossed out. Toot says, and she said she would never leave that boy. That's true, Toot. She did say that. Ling Whipster, thank you for being a member for 21 months. Sham rocks for sure. Finally, a Sham stream, and I had a meeting to now. Oh, well, we're just getting started, Ling Whipster. Glad you're here. Thank you for supporting my channel. Recap for you. We're just looking at Clara's stream right now. We're looking at Clara's stream from last Saturday where she addresses my announcement that based on all of the evidence that I had in front of me to examine, that it appears that Ron and Clara are indeed broken up and Ron is shacked up with Liz. Wicked Crafter, thank you so much for the super chat, hon. I gave up my clout for you, Clara 2024. Thank you so much, Wicked Crafter. I appreciate you. So that's why Ron would leave his own home, because you left him no choice. You have nowhere to go in Indiana, and you're not going to go shack up in a hotel or whatever, and you pay the bills, and you're just going to make things very difficult for Ron in the breakup. Why? Because Clara has invested literally tens of thousands of dollars. She basically purchased Ronaldo for the low, low price of $10,000 and some change, and all of the Temu shit uh, he could possibly shove in that shithole of a retail space over there by the Save a Lot. No, no, no. Clara owns Ron. Ron owes Clara. And that's why he's shacked up over there at Liz's, because he had somewhere to go. And he couldn't bring Liz over to his grandma's house so long as Clara was there. That's why. Liz is in her 30s. Wicked Weird Wednesday. She's in her 30s. Deb W, where's his son? I'm gonna guess his son's over there with Cindy, his mom.
That I would have nowhere to go, and that I would be.
Where would you go if Ron threw a tantrum, or on what, a random Saturday afternoon, and told you to get the F out, and that him and Liz were in love? Where would you go? You and your big ass dog who pisses all over everything. Exactly. No, no, no. There's been an agreement made between the two of them that Clara Hondra is going to have X amount of days to get the fuck out. And in the meantime, Ron couldn't handle being under the same roof as her anymore. He went and shacked up with Liz. Fauntleroy says, to be fair, all Clara lost was her home, her career, a dog, her much better looking previous boyfriend, and like $50,000. Fauntleroy, thank you for that.
Sad and crying, and that Negs would leave his own fucking home.
Skadoosh. I'm standing by my assessment of the situation and everything that I've seen with my own eyes, which includes, as I said, I've seen Liz's social media. She posts TikToks from her home, from inside her home. Ron has been going live on TikTok and Live Me on camera, has not been on camera in his grandma's house, any room or level or basement of it in weeks. Instead, he has been on camera, on Live Me and TikTok, in somebody's house that has the exact same puke brown yellow wall color as Liz's. I mean, it's not like, oh, they're, white walls. No, it's a very distinct, ugly, like brownish yellow color. I'll have to look and see if I have the pictures. I think I shared them with AK and Alex last week, but I don't think they're on this computer. Anyway, just take my word for it, won't you?
Just going with this, where are the dogs then? What
I would imagine Peebles went with Ron over to Liz's. Why wouldn't Peebles go with Ron? And where's Bug? That's just a stupid question. This is another reason. This is another tick mark on the side of I'm right, you're wrong, you're lying, and this is word salad. Because what do you mean? Where would the dogs go? Where are the dogs? Duh. Half the reason you have nowhere to go is because you have that big stupid boxer that pisses all over everything. So that dog's with you and it's going to leave when you do. And Peoples just a little thing. Surely Peoples is over there with Ronaldo. What's your point in that? Where's the dogs?
What happened to the dogs? Because it seems like there is a location for everybody in the family except for the dogs. Where did they go? Did we put them in the shelter? Did we euthanize them? Did we release them to run like packs of wolves?
Look at the way, have you noticed the way she is holding on to the bottom of her face like that? I mean, she is holding on for dear life. That is a sign that she's lying. If she could, she would be covering her mouth, but she can't because she's talking into a microphone. This is a defensive gesture she's making, covering her face, covering her throat, covering her neck. She would be covering her mouth if she could. You're lying, Clara.
In the wild. Where did the dogs go? Amazing.
Yeah, and she hasn't mentioned the boy, has she? Why is that?
No, unlike certain people, we don't leave the dogs outside unsupervised in hot weather. We don't leave the dogs outside
We didn't do that either, and you know it.
unsupervised at all, as a matter of fact.
She act like our dogs just run around the neighborhood free. Come on, get out of here. People put their dogs outside in their yard all the time. Nobody has to sit there and watch them. Hey, genitalia.
And, in other great
The
stories,
reason why their dogs can't be outside unsupervised is because, shocker, they never fenced the yard in like Ron said they were going to do, did they? Remember, Ron had big plans to fence part of the yard in. There was going to be a dog run out there. Never happened. Why is that, Clara? How come all of these things that Ron claimed you were going to do with your dead end's money around that house never happened? That's interesting.
it's about fantastic pet ownership. We wouldn't lock a puppy with a bad tummy in a crate all day and leave it in there so long that it messes the crate.
Who did that? Who did that? I'm not clear on what she's referring to. I know she's not talking about when our dogs had diarrhea and were shitting all over the place. Who said our dogs were locked in the crate all day to the point to where they shit in their crate? I'll have you know, our dogs sleep in their crates at night. They love it there. They have their beds in there. They have their toys in there. It's exactly the way they like it. That's where they like to sleep. In fact, in the morning, Harlow don't like to come out of her crate. You got to tell her, get your ass out of that kennel and go outside and go potty, little heifer. No, she likes to say, she literally wraps herself up in her blankets like a little Harlow burrito. She fucking loves it in there. No, and I'm pretty sure if you know enough about that situation to know that our dogs shit in their crate, then you heard the story and you know that it was overnight that the dogs shit in their crate when they had diarrhea. Sorry for being so gross, but that's what happened. In fact, you're right. Dogs don't like to shit in their crates, but when they get sick and they get sick at night and they're in a crate, you know what they do? You know what they do? They put their butts up against the door of the crate and they shit through the door of the crate. And then some of it gets in their crate, some of it gets all over the little bars, and then some of it gets outside of the crate. And that is what happened. Now, listen, for those of you dog owners out there who are better dog owners than me and Yaba, and when your dogs get upset tummies, you sit up all night and sit up next to their kennel all night and you don't lose a wink of sleep and you're there to catch the shit in your hands or whatever the case may be. Kudos to you. Not gonna be us. And that's true, genitalia pondu. Veterinarians recommend crate training. Nobody ever anywhere said that the dogs were left in their crates all day to the point to where they shit in their crates. That's you telling lies as per. But please continue.
You know that dogs don't mess in their crates? Their crates are like little caves. And dogs, by instinct, do not mess
Hey,
where they
Ashley.
sleep. They don't do that. So imagine how many hours that puppy must have been left in the crate. I think it was Harlow, not the dog that they abandoned outside in hot weather.
It was both of them, motherfucker. I don't know what happened.
No, no. Do you know that when Sidhu or Bug would get sick, when
Look, I don't see not one person in the chat. Granted, there's only 4 people in the chat, but still, none of them in the chat are like, "That's right. That's right, Clara."
they would eat something they shouldn't have, that I would call in sick to work and I would watch either one or both of them like a hawk. And if I had to take them out 50 times, then I would do that.
You're full of shit, number 1. Number 2, let us not forget that Clara Hendra had 2 ginormous male boxers living in her second-story, 2-bedroom, condo in Washington, D.C. Up and down the stairs, up and down. Big old dog. Well, one was young, but wasn't the other dog old, elderly? Yes, you love your dog so much that you had them residing in a second floor condo in Washington, D.C. Sure, sure. Busted Can of Biscuits, thank you so much for being a member for 10 months. Then why is Bug peeing through the floor? Excellent question, Busted Can of Biscuits. Claire Honder, are you going to answer that question for us? If you're such an excellent pet owner and you call off of work when one of your dogs has an upset tummy, why is your dog pissing all over Ron's grandma's house? Also, I don't know if you guys remember, but when Clara was selling the condo in Washington, D.C., when those listing photos went up, we actually had the previous photos to compare them to. And it was noted that Clara had to rip out all of the original flooring in the condo and she replaced all of the flooring in the condo. That's right, not strawberry douche. They were real wooden floors. She ripped out all of the wooden floors in her condo and put down cheap laminate flooring when she put it up for sale. Why would one do that? I'll tell you why. Because her dogs destroyed those hardwood floors, soaked them in piss and shit.
Because those dogs were like my children. I would never lock a puppy up in a crate for hours at a time, full stop. I'm not MFW.
Oh, you don't crate train your animals? No wonder they go around pissing and shitting all over the place.
don't treat animals badly, but especially a puppy, and especially a puppy with a bad stomach. Unbelievable.
The puppy got the bad stomach in the middle of the night. That is when it happened. Like, what are you talking about? How can one predict that their dog is going to get the shits overnight while they're sleeping in their crate and put their butt up against the door of the crate and shit through it? Oh my God, right, Alex Glitter? She said that those dogs are like children to her, and Ron strangled that dog damn near to death, and we know that for a fact because he said it out of his own mouth. Well, okay, he typed it, but you know what I mean.
So no, that story about Negs and I breaking up, that is not true. But you know what is true?
Has Ronaldo made appearance over there in his grandma's house yet? This stream was 6 days ago. Ron still has not popped up over at his grandma's house where DC is exerting her squatter's rights.
I'll tell you what is true. What is true is that that meth head child abuser.
Oh, really? Look at that still.
Do you know that the only two people who have ever said the victim's name, Sam, but she put it in
Oh, hold on. Let's go back
the
to that.
stream, Yaba, are you and Sam? Or maybe not Sam, but she put it in the obituary.
All right. No, I didn't. I have said it and said it and said it again. And I'm going to say it again here. I've never lied about that obituary. I had no problem admitting that I wrote part of that obituary. I wrote part of the obituary. Gina wrote the rest of it. Gina published the obituary, not us. And that's just a fact of it. So you can keep saying that I put that victim's name in the obituary. No, I didn't. Her mother did. That has nothing to do with me or Yaba. We did not publish the obituary on the internet. That was also Gina. Deal with it. Don't care. But please continue.
so that the victim would always be remembered alongside her abuser. You were the one, Yaba, who said that little girl's name on stream. Nobody
She can say her name. She's allowed to. I'm allowed to. You're not.
else did. Olive did not post an unredacted version of that CPS, that DCS report on the Kiwi farms. Olive didn't do that. And I never showed the report at all.
You appeared on stream with your estranged boyfriend, Ronald P. Corbin, on July 27th, 2024, when he displayed it on his screen. You participated as a panelist on that stream. You commented on it. You talked about it. Eggs Over Easy is the one who originally put it on the farms. That's right. Oh, Eggs Over Easy.
My channel on Rumble. But not a single content creator has ever shown an unredacted version of that report.
That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. I'm sorry. I don't care. You guys, Ron left the victim's mother's full name, first and last, on screen. So did Owl. And Eggs Over Easy, when Eggs Over Easy put that shit on the Kiwi Farms, redacted nothing. Do you guys know that somebody has since gone back on the Kiwi Farms and blocked out the victim's name? Do you find that as interesting as I do?
More lies. More lies.
Oh, that's a really good question, Mr. Cardigan Goral. Why does Ron have such a hard time walking her dog if she's such a dog whisperer?
Sorry, Sherry. I know it's going to take a while, if ever. I mean, losing a dog is one of the worst forms of pain imaginable. So I get it, and I'm very sorry. It's a horrible thing, and it's the kind of thing where when the day comes that I have to make that decision, I may just run away. I can't even. No.
Yes, me too.
That's the truth. They don't want to talk about that truth. They want to change the subject and talk about other things. They want to make up lies to get donos. And, I was sitting there thinking, I've been thinking a lot about the kind of people who would donate to Sam and
Oh, Lord have mercy. Here we're going to have some gaslighting, everybody.
Yaba at this stage, knowing what we know, knowing about the lies that they told, knowing about the associations that they have, knowing about how low down and dirty they are, how they stalk people, how they harass people.
All right. Well, listen, that's enough of that. I really don't have all day today. So we're going to get over here to Clara's expert witness filing. So this is what we started talking about in the first stream, and then I lost my internet, so now we're back. So listen, switching gears. This is the filing that Clara filed in the lawsuit that Hussey has against her for breach of contract stemming from that original defamation lawsuit. Clara is fighting back this time. She's not just going to open her pocketbook and shell out tens of thousands of dollars more of her dead aunt's money to Hussey. She's fighting back, and she's hired an expert witness. Comes now Clara Frank by and through her undersigned counsel, Lucretia P. Johnson. pursuant to Superior Court Civil Rule, blah, blah, hereby designate the following expert witness who may testify at trial in this case. Preston D. Mitchum of PDM Consulting. A written report from Mr. Mitchum accompanies this disclosure. Now, you guys can go and read this. It's 20 pages. It has his credentials listed. He lists here that his current standard hourly billing rate is $250 an hour for services performed. He has also reimbursed all reasonable out-of-pocket expenses incurred through his analysis and testimony in the case. Drama B, thank you so much for the super chat, hon. Dono for one of my favorite low-lifers. I appreciate you, Drama B. Thank you so much. So Clara Hondra is paying a pretty penny for this expert witness. He goes on to say, my opinions in this report are meant to assist the court in these proceedings. My primary task is to provide expert testimony on how social media platforms such as Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram operate in relation to user-generated content, engagement, and monetization. Very important. 5. Additionally, I have been asked to evaluate the plaintiff's claims that he has suffered financial harm due to defendants' alleged defamatory statements on social media. Given my experience in social media strategy, content creation, and digital monetization, I assess the mechanics of how content is shared on these platforms and whether it is plausible that Hussey had received significant compensation for online content and if financial losses, if any, are attributable to Clara's statements. Nicketh Peen, could you put the link to that in the chat? Because I can't grab it out of my DMs. Hold on one second. I am going to play our favorite song real quick because I have to go potty. I have to pee before we get into this. So I'll be right back.
He's a cool guy and he always has weed. If you're his friend, he'll help you in need. Fuck with his family and cave in your head. This crazy motherfucker's name is Nate. Next, he'll give you $1 or black eye. He'll give the option of the truth for death. He'll never stop until he's 6 feet right set. Now on to the show you didn't know that you needed. He's through your brains will be seated. Nothing but the truth and never it lies. Come on, next is live. Let's go, guys. He's a cool guy and he always has weed. If you're his friend, he'll help you in need. Fuck with his family and cave in your head. This crazy motherfucker's name is Next. He'll give you $1 or black eye. He'll give the option of the truth for death. He'll never stop until he's 6 feet right set. Now on to the show you didn't know that you needed. Your brains and he'll be seated. Nothing but the truth and never a lie. Come on, next is live, let's go, guys. Come on, next is live, let's go, guys. Come on, next is live, let's go, guys.
All right, there we go. That's better. Hey, I've decided from now till the end of Christmas, I'm going to use my jingle bells when we shake the motherfuckers out of the tree. Do you love it? I love it. Okay. All right. So, the expert witness is a lawyer, a trans and gay rights activist, and a social media guru. Oh, Nick is a pain. Hold on. I can't grab it. There we go. Okay, hold on. Before we go any further, we're going to go ahead and play this clip. Thank you so much, Nicketh Peen. This is, hold on, get that off the screen. There we go. This is Clara Hondra's expert witness. Oh, share this tab instead. Okay. So that is the expert witness. That's who we're hearing from right here. Thank you so much for that, Nikki. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. Let me see what it looks like. Is that better? If I pop it up one more time, it's even bigger. This is totally not for my benefit because I'm an old lady who can't see shit. This is absolutely so you guys can see it better. Okay. All right. So I'm going to read this part again. 6, given my experience. Oh, wait, no, 5. Additionally, I've been asked to evaluate plaintiff's claims that he has suffered financial harm due to the defendant's alleged defamatory statements on social media. Given my experience in social media strategy, content creation, and digital monetization, I assess the mechanics of how content is shared on these platforms and whether it is plausible that the plaintiff, Hussey, had received significant compensation for online content and if financial losses, if any, are attributable to Clara's statements. And then he reserves the right to supplement or revise. Huh? I reserve the right to supplement or revise my opinions as I continue to review the information provided and create additional demonstrative exhibits based on this report to use at trial. So he's already submitted his expert opinion report to the court, and he even admits that he continues to review the information provided. I find that interesting. Let me just say this as well. I am on nobody's side in this particular case. I think they're both rotten AF. Um, but I have to say, in this case, I hope that Hussey gets none of Clara's dead aunt's money. Because the more of Clara's dead aunt's money she holds onto, the more there is for me to take. And I intend to do that. All right. Qualifications, don't care about his stupid qualifications. I'll be real honest with you. I was not impressed with Mr. PDM's qualifications. He says, I'm the founder and CEO of PDM Consulting, a social impact and policy advocacy consulting firm. That's a whole lot of word salad. And a recognized content creator with a strong presence across several social media platforms. Oh, okay. Right, Flushumu, hire a trans rights advocate to clear her when she uses disgusting anti-trans rhetoric all the time. The energy isn't in alignment for success. I agree, Flushumu. He goes on to state, I have gained more than 100,000 followers on major platforms. Notice I think he purposely omits the word cumulatively, including Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Something else I find interesting is that YouTube is not one of them. And the majority of the complaints between Husseth and Clarahondra take place on the YouTube platform, the Rumble platform, and of course, Twitter, which is mentioned here, but certainly not Instagram or Facebook or even TikTok for that matter. He says, my most followers are on Twitter, 56,000 on Twitter, 33,000 on Instagram. Hardly, in my opinion, equates to a subject matter expert. Lynn Webster, who is this person? This is the expert witness that Clara has paid $250 an hour plus expenses to analyze whether or not Hussey ever made any money online and also whether or not he suffered any losses. Yeah, he made up his job. Wow, 33K on Instagram. I mean, okay. And Facebook, 11,000. 11,000 followers on Facebook. That ain't hard to do. Anyway. 10. Additionally, I have appeared on the Bravo reality television series Summer House Martha's Vineyard for 2 consecutive seasons. Nicketh Peen, I would be interested in knowing if there's any direct connection between this person, this fellow, what is his name? Preston D. Mitchum and one Lucretia P. Johnson. I think this is yet another case of my friend has a service to offer in this particular case. So, yeah, because I don't know how else would they scratch this joker up. I've appeared on the Bravo reality television series Sun House Martha's Vineyard for 2 consecutive seasons, which has led to numerous sponsorships and content creator agreements, including Stacey Abrams with American Pride Rises and at the Democratic National Convention. Oh my Lord. So wait, Stacey Abrams with America Pride Rises. What, you had a sponsorship or content creator? I don't know. Was he a speaker at the DNC? I guess I should have done some fact checking before we came live, but who's got time for that shit, right? Lisa says if it goes to trial and he testifies, he'll probably get even more per hour, probably. Right, Brioche name dropping, but what are his qualifications? What makes him relevant to this exactly? Additionally, oh, I read that. My work as a public figure and social media expert provides me with a deep understanding of how individuals and businesses engage with audiences online. Really? Does it? Because this is not reality TV over here that we're dealing with, sir. You're talking about you've got cumulatively over 100,000 followers on across 3 social media platforms, none of which is where any of the monetized content creation that Hussey is claiming he has been damaged by Clara has taken place. I don't see Rumble on here. I don't see YouTube on here. So I don't understand how what is this guy's name? Preston? I don't see how Preston is coming to the court saying, "Hey, I'm an expert and I can assess whether or not Hussey really was making any halfway decent coin on the Rumble or even Twitch or the YouTube," because you don't, by your own admission. You're not a participant on any of those platforms. None of them. Right, Drama B? I'm telling you. Lucretia and Preston worked together. I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew it. Thank you so much for that, Lisa Simpson in the chat. Oh, look at that. Preston Mitchum Esquire, LLM. Whoo! Here it is right here. Okay, this is a link to the Washington Bar Association Young Lawyers Division. Meet our past division chairs. And who do we have right down here? 2018 to 2019, Preston Mitchum Esquire. Immediately following that, 2019 to 2020, Lucretia P. Johnson Esquire. I fucking knew it. I knew it. Oh, shoot. Did I say Lisa? Sorry. Nicketh? I'm so sorry. Same law firm. I find that interesting because I don't see, does he say anywhere where he's an attorney? I don't see that. Does he mention here where he has worked previously with Lucretia P. Johnson? I don't see that either. Oh, wow. Anyway, yeah, we're not dealing with reality television on the Bravo channel or even the Democratic National Convention. We're talking about YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble. Oh, it's in his online bio. He's an attorney. I find it interesting, unless I didn't see it, unless I missed it. But this is the section where he talks about qualifications. He just omits the fact that he's an attorney. Wow, I love that. This says, okay, introduction work assignment. I didn't read the first part. It says, I've been retained by LPJ Legal, PLLC counsel representing Clara and the above caption matter. Yeah, he says nowhere on here that he's an attorney. And I love that he does say he specifically says primary task is to provide expert testimony on how social media platforms such as Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram operate. However, he has no presence on YouTube. None. Also, no mention of Rumble. Does he even know what Rumble is? Because where was it that Hussey went to? Was it Twitch? Or was he also on Rumble? I don't remember. I didn't follow. Or does he just play an attorney on social media? That's interesting. All right. Anyway, so he goes on to say, my work as a public figure and social media expert provides me with a deep understanding of how individuals and businesses engage with audiences online. I don't think so. What makes you a social media expert? He is not. Nothing that I have seen so far qualifies him as a social media expert. Public figure, I'll give him that, but social media expert? And where do you get your deep understanding of how individuals and businesses engage with online audiences, specifically on social media and specifically on the YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble platforms? Twitch, thank you, Lisa. How social media platforms function and how financial gains or losses can be influenced by content on these platforms. I have been featured in various media outlets. Notice does not say social. I have been featured in various media outlets and have secured brand partnerships across industries, demonstrating firsthand knowledge of the dynamics of social media monetization, brand reputation, and audience engagement. Press X to doubt. Oh, more information about my personal and professional background can be found via my media kit and my website at prestonmitchum.com. All right. Oh, what happened? I went to the wrong thing. Here we go. Preston Mitchum, a force to be reckoned with. Look at him. He literally posted a picture of himself like pointing and laughing. A force to be reckoned with. Preston Mitchum isn't just a name, it's a symbol of commitment, passion, and the embodiment of change. With over a decade of experience, he excels in various roles from attorney to passionate activist and respected public speaker. You'll often find him on national news shows, sharing profound insights and contributing to esteemed publications. Oh, so far, no mention of social media expertise. Exactly, Drama Beat. I am. Lisa says you're doing Maxwell's job for him. I know, and this is not the first time I've done Maxwell's job for him. Look, it is what it is, guys. You know, we don't really have a choice here. It is what it is. All right. You'll often find him on national news shows, sharing profound insights and contributing to esteemed publications. Preston is not just an attorney and activist, but also a TV personality, making a memorable appearance on Bravo's hit show, Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Oh, Renee, fuck out of here. Trust and believe it has nothing to do with the color of this man's skin, but apparently it does for you. And that says more about you than it does about me. Does it not, Renee? Fuck off. God. Anyway, based in Washington, D.C. Have you asked yourself why Clara has hired not only a Black attorney, but now a Black expert witness, all things considered, to represent not only herself, but also Ron, of all people? Based in Washington, D.C., Preston champions safe spaces for Black, queer, trans, and non binary individuals, embodying dedication and change. Oh, look, you can book Preston. Oh, look, there. Oh, look, he has appeared on YouTube. Preston Mitchum, newest co host of Everything's Fine. Okay, well, that's not his channel. Preston Mitchum on the pros and cons about the idea of, I'm not sure what that says. Politics and drag go together. Oh my. Okay, there's all that. Let's look at his media kit. Oh, look, there's his media kit. Okay. Download a copy of my new media, complete with bio, media articles, contact information, and more. No, thank you. Oh, look, here's his bio. Let's just run through it. Oh, he's from Dayton, Ohio, lives in Washington, D.C. I'm not seeing anything about you being an expert in social media. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing a lot of talk about, his activist work and mainstream. Preston has been featured in the Washington Post, BET, MTV, The Root, The Griot, The Atlantic, BuzzFeed, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, The Guardians, and others. But you're talking about a completely different universe from social media platforms such as YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. Oh, that's what I lost. Hold on. Damn it. No, I'll just bring it back up again. Give me a second. There we go. Need to make it bigger so we can all see it real good. Right, Owl? What page were we on? Where he talks about his stupid media kit. There we go. Oh, because I clicked it from there. Whatever. Okay, let me make sure. Yep, we're still there. Okay, good. Let me drag her over. All right. A current copy of my curriculum vitae is also provided for the court. I don't know what that is. Does anyone know what that is? I don't. Data and other information considered informing opinions expressed herein. Oh, short and sweet. 15. In arriving at my opinions, I relied on A, my content creation expertise. Where? Where do you have content creation expertise? Where does this come from? Oh, resume. Thank you. Oh, is that what CV stands for? I never knew. Oh, what do I know? CV is a resume, more academic focused. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Toot says this smells like heels. Lucretia, a great big fat favor. Thank you. Goodbye, Kyle. All right. Thank you. In arriving at my opinions, I relied on A, my content creation expertise. Where, dude? Where, my guy? On Twitch? On YouTube? On Rumble? On Twitter? No? Oh, okay. Oh, Nicketh Peen, that is an excellent question. Thank you for bringing that up. And I'm going to go ahead and bop that on the screen because it's important. How can he be an impartial witness when he's not disclosed his working relationship with Lucretia? Clara, you care to answer that? No? Fine. Great question, Nicketh. Thank you for that. Okay. On A, my content creation expertise. B, my review of various documents and filings provided by counsel. C, independent research of social media monetization. Oh, really? Did you have to conduct independent research of social media monetization? But I thought you were an expert in content creation and monetization thereof. That's interesting. And D, a review of some online content by Plaintiff, Hussey, and Ms. Frank. And E, sound judgment based on years of expertise in the digital space. What a waste of money. All right. Summary of opinions. Based on my professional expertise and review of this case, I have formed the following opinions. Social media platforms such as Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Oh, but what do you know about YouTube, sir? Are you claiming you're some sort of expert in YouTube and the monetization of content creators and creation on YouTube? I can't tell. You're full of shit. Operate primarily as open forums where user generated content, such as posts, retweets, and shares, can spread quickly based on algorithms and user engagement. That's interesting. I feel like that was copied and pasted. Everything you need to know about social media algorithms. I really feel like he did some Googling and just kind of reworded shit that he found on the Google because that's what it appears to be to me. But what do I know? That's just my opinion based on what I see. Bunneth 100 Jean, thank you so much for the super chat, girl. Does he know that Clara's female boyfriend was charged with threatening a black woman and a trans man and his upset white nationalist friends? Banatandra, I'm going to guess the answer to that question is no. Would that not be interesting, though, if he were to know that? Although Lucretia sure doesn't give a fuck about that, now does she? All right. Thank you so much for the super chat, Boneth. Appreciate you. Link Whipster, thank you so much for gifting 5 Samantha Jean memberships. Nutties, Niche, Kath Run, Madonna Knowles, Shaking But Not Stirred Cat. Welcome. Welcome, new members. That was only 4. Who's the 5th? Thank you so much, Link Whipster. I appreciate you, girl. God, I really like the jingle bells. Is it too loud? Thank you so much. All right. Based on my professional expertise and review of this case, I form the following opinions. Social media platform. So this is an opinion. I have formed the following opinions. So it is Preston's opinion that social media platforms such as Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram operate primarily as open forums where user generated content such as posts, retweets, and shares can spread quickly based on algorithms and user engagement. It is also Preston's opinion that while these platforms allow for the dissemination of statements, the financial impact on users from defamatory content is difficult to quantify without concrete evidence of lost business or revenue streams directly tied to the alleged defamatory actions. Really, is that your professional opinion, or is that what your friend Lucretia told you? Just wondering. I agree, Brioche. Fauntleroy says an impartial review means that he is not in the tank for anyone and is speaking as an expert witness. Doesn't mean he has no bias or opinions. Also, how can it be an impartial review when the counsel for Miss Frank, who hired you for this impartial review and this expert opinion, is your friend? Gotta know. The plaintiff, Hussey, has not demonstrated sufficient evidence to show that he has lost money as a direct result of Clara's statements. Is that your opinion? I mean, I would like to know how you came to that opinion. It's interesting. He doesn't say what he bases that opinion on. He says, based on my professional expertise and review of this case. Okay, specifically review the case. Because he says earlier that he was provided with some documents, not all, not the complete case file. And he reserved the right to change his opinions based on his ongoing review. So that's interesting. Let's see. Given Hussey's social media metrics across multiple platforms, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Oh, first mention of Twitch. That's interesting, Preston. Because Twitch just so happens to be one social media platform in which, by your own admission, you have no experience or expertise in. So, how are we to take your assessment of anyone's Twitch account seriously? But please go ahead. YouTube as well. I didn't see him mention where he has any social media presence on YouTube. And nobody's really monetized on Twitter, right? I don't think that Hussey ever made a claim of being monetized on Twitter, but he did make claims of being monetized on both YouTube and Twitch. Just so happens to be the two social media platforms that Preston knows fuck all about. I find that interesting. Okay. Given the plaintiff's social media metrics across multiple platforms, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, the plaintiff does not meet the typical qualifications for an influencer or creator who would earn money from these platforms. And what would the typical qualifications be? Preston, what would those typical qualifications be? Where do you find them? Where do you get that from? Where are these typical qualifications listed somewhere for you to reference? Oh, that's right. This is just your opinion. Okay, well, whatever. Please, though, could you define typical qualifications for an influencer or creator who would earn money from these platforms? In fact, Hussey's activity more closely resembles that of a regular social media user rather than someone actively engaged in monetizing their presence. The plaintiff's activity more closely resembles that of a regular. No, I would have to disagree with that. I would have to disagree with that because Hussey very much, um, I mean, he's always made money on his social media, and he makes no qualms about that, and he's very open about it. A regular social media user, rather than someone actively engaged in monetizing their presence, would be somebody such as, oh, I don't know, Fauntleroy, right? Sperm Everywhere, Mr. Cardigan Girl, Not Strawberry Douche, The Happy Accident, Shaking But Not Stirred Cat. Those are regular social medias who are users, regular social media users who are not actively engaged in monetizing their presence. Hassa the Gene is absolutely a social media user who is actively engaged in monetizing his presence. But that was nice. That was cute. That was a nice try. I'll give you a gold star for number 19, Preston. Number 20, based on my review of relevant social media practices. Hey, Cassandra. And an overview of how monetization occurs based on engagement and followings on social media, it appears highly unlikely that any significant financial harm can be attributed to the alleged defamatory statements without more concrete proof, such as a demonstrable decline in advertising revenue, sponsorships, or partnerships. Now, I don't believe that Hussey ever claimed to have had sponsorships or partnerships, or that he ever relied on sponsorships or partnerships for generating revenue and income on his social media platforms. I don't think that that was ever the case. So why should Hussey have to demonstrate a decline in those particular areas of potential revenue, income earning activities? And so that leaves us with the advertising revenue, which again, I don't believe that Hussey ever made the claim that he lost specifically advertising revenue as a result of anything between him and Clara. I think it was pretty specific that he was losing subscribers and direct donations from those subscribers. I think he was very specific about that. Preston's last name is Mitchum, Mitchum. Mitchum. Miss Ann, thank you so much for the super chat, girl. Dental emergency. Lord have mercy. Did she find this C-list Bravo celebrity expert on Cameo? Gotta get laughed out of court in my humble. Gonna get laughed out of court. Oh, Miss Ann, thank you so much for the super chat. And to answer your question, no, she did not find this C-list Bravo celebrity expert on Cameo. In fact, Miss Ann, Clara Hondra didn't find this expert herself at all. Her attorney did. And how did her attorney find this expert? Well, they have a prior working relationship. See, I'll show you. Looky here. The Washington Bar Association Young Lawyers Division. Meet our past division chairs. Well, who do we have here? Preston Mitchum Esquire was the division chair 2018-2019. Lucretia P. Johnson followed up the following year, 2019 to 2020. And I can assure you that Lucretia Johnson secured Preston Mitchum's recommendation before she became a division chair for the Washington Bar Association Young Lawyers Division. They have a known working relationship. Love that. All right. So, where were we? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, shit. Where was I? Oh, that was the summary of opinions. Oh, hold on. Let me take that off. Thank you so much for the super chat, hun. Here we go. Okay. So, yeah, this, you should probably, I don't know, fix this, Preston. Because if I were Maxwell or his paralegal who can't pass the bar, I would tear that to shreds. All right. Overview of the case, background information. Hussey alleges that Clara has engaged in a willful and deliberate campaign of harassment and defamation against him through their personal social media accounts. Hussey claims, among other things, that Clara falsely accused him of being a sex predator, drunk, liar, scammer, and child abuser adjacent. What do you mean falsely accused? Hold on. Plaintiff claims, among other things. So Hussey claims, among other things. That Clara falsely accused him of being those things. Okay. Which he asserts has caused him to experience financial harm. I mean, this isn't even a question anymore, is it? Wasn't all of the question surrounding whether or not Clara was liable for making these false accusations and defamatory statements, wasn't all of that wrapped up when Clara agreed to settle that initial case? So, what is your expert witness trying to go back and argue that now? I don't know. Plaintiff, okay, which he asserts has caused him to experience financial harm. The plaintiff, Hussey's claims center on the argument that these defamatory statements have damaged his reputation and affected his ability to earn income, particularly in the form of lost business deals, clients, or social media based income. Is that true? Hold on. Sorry, I had to answer my kid and let her know I'm live. Okay. Claims they've damaged his reputation, affected his ability to earn income, particularly in the form of lost business deals. I don't remember that. Right. Also, this is a breach we're on to now, Preston. All right. Keep up. Clients. I don't think he ever claimed to have clients. I think the word you were looking for there, Mr. Social Media Expert, was subscribers, but okay. Or social media based income. Okay, there. All right. Oh, well, I guess 1 out of 3 ain't bad, Preston. 1 out of 3 ain't bad, I guess. All right. Based on the above mentioned information and the initial complaint filed March 18th, 2024, why are you even referring? What? I just don't understand. I don't understand any of this. I feel like maybe this expert witness should have been brought prior to Clara settling this lawsuit in October of last year. I just feel like you're like a year late with your expert witness. This lawsuit that is currently on your head in a Washington, D.C. court, Clara, is a breach of contract. We're not going back and arguing whether or not Husseth lost income or suffered financial damages, which resulted in the first lawsuit. That was settled. If you wanted to argue that shit, if you wanted to say there's no way he lost income because he never made income on social media, any substantial income to have lost to begin with, that you should have done that before you settled the case back in October of last year. You just wasted all this money paying Lucretia's friend to be an expert witness when none of this shit applies to the matter at hand before the court present day, which is breach of contract. You breached the contract that you signed, that you entered into when you settled the case with Hussey in October of last year. That's what this is about. Yeah, no wonder she's praying happy accident. Exactly. At this point, I feel like Lucretia, Lucretia, I feel like you know what you're done. I feel like you know what you're doing. I feel like you know what you're doing here. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's cute. Hold on. All right. Yeah, it feels like she wants to re-argue a settled case, and that's not going to happen, dummy. And it sounds like she paid a lot of money to do it. Isn't it funny how who's Turtle? Isn't it funny how Turtle gives Sam shit for her daughter working as a dancer, but has no opinion when this lawsuit and banana hammocks? Oh, Bunny, right. Good point. Good point. Maybe Claire's looking for a refund. Lucretia knows DC has deep pockets. Precisely. She's going to get her money, honey. Oh, Gigi's the turtle. Fuck Snifford. Okay, anyway. Based on the above mentioned information, the initial complaint filed March 18, 2024, and that was since settled, Hussey claims has been creating online content for his fans over the past few years. Last year, prior to the public online posting of the defendant's Clara's defamatory statements, Hussey had over 200 paid memberships on his Twitch channel. He also had on average 600 views per live stream prior to the commencement of Clara Frank's defamation campaign against Hussey, and he used to profit between $1,000 and $1,500 monthly from Twitch. Okay, all about Twitch. Thank you, Preston, for demonstrating your understanding that the original lawsuit centered around loss of income of the Twitch platform. Further, according to Hussey's amended complaint filed September 23rd, 2024, the amended complaint in the breach of contract lawsuit, I can't help but notice that Preston did not differentiate between the two complaints, because this is not an amended complaint from the original March 2024. Wait a minute. This should be March 2023, damn it. Preston. It was March 18th, 2023, sir. Can somebody email Preston? Or maybe we should email Lucretia and let her know that her expert witness doesn't even have the timeline right. I mean, I'm not getting paid $250 an hour plus or more, and even I can see and keep up with the timeline. All right. Anyway, so this was the original complaint. Now he's saying further, according to Hussey's amended complaint on the breach of contract lawsuit filed September 23rd, 2024, quote, each of these claims arises from Clara's targeted, persistent, and unlawful actions aimed at damaging Hussey's reputation, disrupting his legal proceedings, and causing him substantial emotional and financial harm, emphasis added. As will be discussed in later sections, based on my understanding of social media metrics. Oh, notice he's not included the word expert. Based on my expert understanding and knowledge of social media metrics. That's interesting. Based on my understanding of social media metrics, subscribers, views, the plaintiff, Hussey, did not experience any significant loss of followers or experience financial harm. And even if so, it was not a direct result of Clara's statements. Especially this part. This is none of your business. This has nothing to do with you. Nobody, including the court, Preston, has asked you to stand up and pipe up and give them your opinion of whether or not any damages that Hussey suffered was the result of Clara's statements. That's kind of already been decided, when the case was settled. This is not a question anymore of whether or not Hussey experienced any significant loss of followers or experienced financial harm as a direct result of Clara's statements on account of this is a breach of contract lawsuit. This has already been determined. And then Clara Hondra signed a contract, so did Ron, promising to not do that shit anymore. And then they did that shit anymore. That's the question at hand here. That's the issue at hand here. Very good. Thank you so much for the super chat. Clara's just getting her blood drained by these freaks, including her live-in manlet. That's right. Very good. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. Joanna Freedom says, I guess we can all add expert social media metrics analysis to our resumes. No shit, Joanna. Honestly, I feel like I'm more qualified to call myself an expert social media metric analyst than this jabroni. Jeez. Wouldn't an actual YouTube slash Twitch person be more consistent as a witness? This guy isn't a streamer, nor does he have an influencer type presence. No, he doesn't. And most certainly not on the social media platforms and apps Twitch, Rumble, and Twitter. All right. As will be discussed in later sections, based on my understanding of social media metrics, I find that really interesting. This is going to be such a problematic statement for you, Lucretia. Okay, I read that part. My report will focus on an explanation of how social media works, as well as monetizing platforms for financial gain and how that directly ties to follower count and subscriptions, among other things. Hmm. Overview of social media and monetization. Social media is no longer just about connecting with friends. In today's digital landscape, where the average person spends 2 hours daily on social media, these platforms have evolved beyond mere networking spaces into powerful avenues for monetization. In developing my opinions, I considered several texts and online articles, including Forbes' How to Make Money from Social Media in 2024. I also pulled from my own experience as a person with a substantial social media presence. Really? Do you have a substantial social media presence monetized on YouTube and Twitch? No? Oh, okay. 29. Monetizing social media platforms is a dynamic and multifaceted process. Indeed, it is. Indeed, it is, Preston. It is a dynamic and multifaceted process, one of which, especially where this particular community is involved, you know nothing of and you have no experience in. Now, do you? I don't see Preston over there with a Twitch channel collecting super chats. I don't see him on YouTube collecting the super chats or the donos. Does he have a banner rolling across the bottom of his Twitch stream with his Cash App and his PayPal? No. Do you have memberships on your YouTube channel, Preston? No, you don't. But okay, continue. Monetizing social media platforms is a dynamic and multifaceted process that can lead to financial gain for content creators, influencers, and businesses, but is strongly tied to factors like follower count, subscriptions, engagement, and consistent viewership. Below is a detailed explanation of how these elements directly connect to financial opportunities and revenue generation on social media platforms. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Monetization on social media platforms, key pathways to financial gain. Social media platforms such as Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and others offer several pathways for users to make money. Again, I don't see Twitch on here. I don't see Rumble on here, not even talking about these platforms. The primary way that social media creators and influencers can monetize their accounts, including advertising revenue, which I don't believe Hussey ever claimed that he was making any advertising revenue. I don't. Exactly, Lisa. You could have barely any views, but still make good money if you have enough paid memberships. Nick Peen says Preston's YouTube seems to have 9 followers. Link, please. Thank you. Goofy, dumb, goofy, ho, bitch. Thank you so much for being a member for 27 months. Did chat chat bot write this? Sounds like a 7th grade research paper. It does, doesn't it? Goofy Dumb, thank you for the super chat. I don't recall Hussey claiming he lost ad revenue. Ooh, Bork of the Gene, nice to see you, girl. Member for 6 months. What a bunch of jokes. Agreed. Oh, thank you, Preston Mitchum, 97. Oh, what is this? Womp, womp, womp. Preston Mitchum, not only do you not have a Twitch account, you also have had your YouTube channel since November 8th of 2021, and you are at a total of 9 subscribers. You've posted 13 videos. You're not even monetized, my guy. What do you know? Look at you. No one's watching your shit. 34 views, 18, 20, 28, 131. 87. Oh, that has Surviving R. Kelly in the title. 87 views. Sir, you cracked 100 views exactly one time on your YouTube channel, but please tell us more, you expert social media witness. You expert witness, tell us all about how YouTube monetizes. Oh, I love it so much. Thank you so much, Nicketh Peen. Appreciate you. He probably only made that channel so he could put it on his CV. Nicketh Peen, you're the best. Appreciate you, girl. All right. So the primary way that social media creators and influencers can monetize their accounts include advertising revenue, sponsorships, and brand partnerships, affiliate marketing, paid subscriptions, and memberships. There's no mention of super chats on here. I know me personally, 99.999% of the revenue I make on YouTube is from my memberships and super chats. He says nothing of super chats here. What was the main reason or the main ways that Hussey generates revenue on his YouTube or his Twitch channels? Is it advertising revenue? Of course not. Sponsorships and brand partnerships? Absolutely not. Affiliate marketing? Nope. Paid subscriptions? Nope. Memberships? Yes. Alex Glitter says, by begging. Yes. Memberships, super chats, and private direct donations solicited from his subscribers. Nicketh Peen says he literally had to look up how to be monetized on YouTube. Yes, and you can tell. Miss Ann says, tell us about your extensive knowledge with your 9 subs, Preston. All right. For platforms like YouTube and TikTok, okay, Hussey's none of this occurred on TikTok. Very little of it, if any, occurred on YouTube. I think that Hussey, in fact, he even, hold on, let's scroll back. He took from the original, yep, this is from the original complaint, the initial complaint filed March 18th, 2023. Stupid. Look, it's all about Twitch. 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 Why didn't you look up and give us a book report on how monetization, earning money on Twitch works? Why are you telling us about how earning money through advertising revenue on YouTube and TikTok works when that is irrelevant? It's irrelevant to this matter. It's irrelevant to the initial. But please, by all means, continue, sir. For platforms like YouTube and TikTok, creators can earn money through advertising revenue. Here's how it works. I just want to take a big red marker and draw a big red X to that because it doesn't apply. Husseth never alleged he was making advertising revenue on YouTube or TikTok that was affected by Clara. So whatever. Thank you for your ABC demonstration of your understanding on what it takes to be monetized on YouTube. You need 1,000 subs. You need 4,000 watch hours. Oh, look at that CPM. Oh, look at that cost per mile. Get out of here. We're not going to read that because it doesn't apply. Look at that. He would see YouTube partner program overview and eligibility available at support.google. Huh. What a moron. 34. One of the most lucrative ways creators monetize social media is through sponsorships and partnerships with brands. Has Hussey ever claimed that he was making money on social media through sponsorships and partnerships with brands? Was that part of the original or the breach of contract complaint? No, it wasn't. So we're not going to read that shit either. Okay. Irrelevant. The direct relationship between follower count, engagement, and financial success. Oh, yes. Tell us all about it. Follower count and engagement are critical to how much money a creator can earn on social media. In my opinion, two main factors contribute to financial gain. A, follower count. B, engagement rates. Oh, but you would be so wrong. You would be so wrong in relation to this particular case, Preston. And I'm just going to keep saying it over and over and over. Hussey never claimed to be making his money on social media, on YouTube, via his follower count, his engagement rates, brand deals, or sponsorships. So this is all a bunch of fucking word salad that means absolutely nothing. This is literally toilet paper. This is toilet paper for Robert Maxwell to wipe his ass with. God, Clara, you're a fucking loser and you fuck up everything. Everything. Goofy dumb, goofy hoe, bitch. Thank you so much for the super chat. Someone needs to fill the dungeon that both parties are banned from YouTube. No shit. Thank you so much for the super chat. Both parties permanently banned from YouTube and have been for quite some time. Fucking idiots. Okay. In terms of follower count, the size of an influencer or creator's following is often the first metric brands, advertisers, and platforms consider when determining the financial potential of an account, or even if they want to work with the person. Again, irrelevant. Husseth never made the claim that he lost out on brand deals or sponsorships. Did he? Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Follower count can determine reach and exposure. Again, Hussey never made the allegation that he lost brand deals or sponsorships. While follower count is important, engagement rates are often seen as an even more reliable indicator of an account's earning potential. Engagement rates. Okay. It's still not true. Still not true. I mean, I don't get the greatest views on my shit, but I still make money, don't I? A creator with 500,000 followers but low engagement will often earn less than a creator with 100,000 followers who has a highly engaged audience. Okay, what does that have to do with anything? I'm skipping past that. That's stupid. Challenges of monetizing with fewer followers and lower engagement. What are you talking about, dude? For creators with fewer followers and low engagement rates, the potential for financial gain is significantly reduced. None of this matters. None of this matters. It's not disputed whether or not Hussey was earning an income on Twitch and YouTube. He was. Now, was it a substantial income? In Preston's opinion, no, it wasn't. But for Hussey, personally, was that a substantial income for him? Was it a substantial portion of his income, $1,000 to $1,500 a month? Sure, it was. I cannot believe that this Preston fellow and Lucretia are literally sitting here saying, "Well, he didn't make tens of thousands of dollars a month on social media, therefore he doesn't count." Give me a break. All right. Anyway, I'm getting bored with this. Oh, issue with the plaintiff's claim of experiencing significant financial loss. In reviewing Hussey's claims of financial harm, unknown suspect Jean, thank you so much for being a member for 24 months. Ooh, happy memberversary to you. Yes, girl. 2 solid years. Love it so much. Thank you so much for your support, unknown suspect Jean. Is Preston using Social Blade? That's a good question. Don't know. Unknown. Oh my goodness. It's Jackie. Why is Jackie being walked in here like a baby? Snort, snort.
Sounds like Christmas in here.
Doesn't, yeah. I decided to use these. I like them too. Aw. Oh, okay. You're so funny. Where's Harlow?
She's sleeping.
Oh, did she tuck herself in her kennel where she sleeps
Yeah.
voluntarily? She puts herself to bed in her kennel. She fucking loves it. Okay. In reviewing the plaintiff's claims of financial harm, it is important to understand that the mere presence of defamatory statements on social media does not automatically translate into monetary losses. Says who? Says who? God. For the plaintiff to substantiate his claim, there must be demonstrable evidence of how the statements have directly impacted his revenue streams. Sir, once again, you're late. You are in the wrong complaint. You are you're speaking here in your little overview as if you are an expert witness in the original complaint. This is a breach of contract complaint, sir. Did nobody tell him that? Did Lucretia not explain to him that this is a breach of contract matter?
Like they weren't very clear with everything. Would be my guess.
This is wild.
I think it's great.
Yeah, I love it.
I think DC has some kind of sick fetish that she likes getting kicked around.
That's got to be what it is. That's got to be what it is. Okay. Oh, here, I'm going to bop forward to number 43. It's in bold. All right. It is my opinion that given the relatively small number of followers, the lack of significant engagement, the lower view counts, and an assessment of how social media works, Hussey has not received significant money and therefore could not have experienced financial harm and might be recouping to recover for other reasons not stated in plaintiff's complaint. Again, Preston. Are you listening, Preston? Preston, wake up, Preston. Preston, this is a breach of contract complaint, sir. All right. You're like a year late and a couple dollars short, but whatever. God, look at this summary of opinions. We're only on page 10 of 20. Oh, it's time for this shit. What are we having for lunch? I'm starving.
Girl, I don't know.
Just tell me what we're eating.
Yeah, just tell me what we're having for lunch. That's all I care about.
Want your socks back?
Yes, please.
Here you go.
They're
They're going to think I'm taking these socks off my feet.
Girl, please, I don't wear the socks.
She left her socks on my desk. Dolphins man says he has 33 on Instagram. Yep. Miss Ann says Preston seems to have a lot of spare time.
Preston's just like, give me your money and I'll do what I can.
I'll say whatever you want me to say.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, we're getting into a little bit of good stuff here. Okay. Based on my extensive experience on the social media landscape as a content creator and social media expert, where you got 9 subscribers on YouTube, motherfucker. You can't crack 50 views on your videos, but okay. Yeah.
You should have just given your money to me.
No, yeah, totally. Both of us. Yeah, we'll be your social media expert.
Yeah.
We know how that shit works. I mean, the final answer is probably going to be the same. Hussey's full of shit, but either way about it, doesn't make Clara right.
He's still going to get paid. I promise you he will.
I don't know.
It's looking like it.
Mr. Cardigan Girl said, fix me lunch, woman. All right, where was I? Oh, yeah. It is my professional opinion that Hussey has not experienced financial harm due to Clara's actions. Well, where were you a year ago, motherfucker?
What does she pay for this?
$250 an hour. How many billable hours do you think he submitted?
Girl, minimum of 10.
Yes.
I bet.
Yeah, he made at least 2,500 on this one.
I think at least probably rounded up to about 3K total.
P-
This cost her.
P-Day says I even have 141 subscribers.
That's not even including what she had to pay her actual lawyer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She's probably already out another 10K.
More than that. That's great. All right. He says, okay. Hussey has not experienced financial harm due to Clara's actions, nor has any evidence been provided to substantiate claims of financial losses related to social media activity. Well, that's Clara's fault that she went and settled that lawsuit before any of that was submitted. So that's Clara's fault. She's the one who settled it. My analysis is based on a comprehensive review of plaintiff's social media accounts, including his follower count, engagement metrics, and content performance, as well as an understanding of how financial gain is typically derived from social media platforms. Okay, and didn't I just say that the way that Hussey makes his financial gain is not typical?
You don't know how much that man is getting through Cash App donations.
Yeah.
PayPal donations.
Nope. And Preston does not know that because it never got to discovery in the initial lawsuit because Clara settled that shit.
So Hussey has more subscribers on his animating channel than this.
Yeah, than this jabroni. Yes.
Well, I feel like, to be fair to this dude, he's just doing what he's been told to do.
Yeah, he's just doing what his friend Lucretia asked him to do.
But still looking real stupid doing it.
Yeah. Anyway, upon reviewing Hussey's Twitter, I observed that the account has just over 1,000 followers, a relatively small number by social media standards. The last post was made July 29th, 2024. Okay, what's the deal with that? You're not going to tell me Hussey hasn't posted on Twitter since July 29th. And during the summer of 2024, the highest number of likes on any post was a mere 12. This level of engagement is considered extremely low and indicates a minimal interaction with the content the plaintiff is producing. I don't believe Hussey ever claimed that he lost any income from Twitter. So what exactly does Twitter have to do with it? Hussey never claimed to be making money on Twitter, dude. Boy, you suck. 46 in social media follower count and engagement are critical factors. Yeah, with your 9 subscribers and your 20 views over there. Whatever. It is widely known that brands seek out creators with substantial followings and consistent high engagement. Again, I don't believe Hussey ever claimed that he had or lost brand partnerships or deals or anything like that. So I don't know why you're even talking about that. I say he's doing it as a favor or mates rates for Lucretia, but will bill Hussey the full amount if they get costs back. Oh, his Twitter is very political. 12 likes is simply not enough to command financial interest to provide opportunities for brand deals. Again, he never claimed anything about brand deals. Oh, what is this? Turning to Hussey's YouTube account. You know what? We're about to be done here because I want to hear you talk about his Twitch account. That is where Hussey, in his lawsuit, claimed he was harmed financially. Was his Twitch account? Here we go. Okay, on plaintiff's Twitch account, while the follower count is higher at approximately 2,400 viewers, the viewership numbers on the available content rarely exceeds 200 views. Right, on the available content, because doesn't Hussey dirty delete? And also, I don't think Hussey ever claimed that he was making revenue on Twitch from ad revenue, brand deals, or anything other than direct subscriber donations and memberships. Sase Mama, thank you for being a member for 3 months. This isn't Summer House, sir. What are you doing? Thank you for that. It is important to note that by and large, social media counts views not by individual unique viewers, but by clicks on the content, meaning that one person can account for multiple views. Okay, shut up, dude. With this context, the plaintiff's Twitch account does not demonstrate the level of engagement or, again, irrelevant to the breach of contract. All right. In 2024, there is a growing trend of individuals identifying as influencers or content creators despite not meeting the industry standard benchmarks for monetization. You mean like your YouTube channel does not meet the industry standard benchmarks for monetization, yet here you are attesting to a court of law that you are a subject matter expert? Unfucking real. He said in the case I recorded, he made the majority of his money through gifts and donations. Yes, Nicotine, that is exactly what he said in the hearing that you recorded. Mr. Cardigan Girl, thank you so much for joining membership. Shamrock, for sure. Thank you. I appreciate you supporting my channel.
Here's the thing, though, I was thinking, because this is obviously going to go in Hussey's favor, in my opinion, from what I listened to.
Yeah.
And it's probably best that Hussey get awarded this money. That way, when AK goes to get her money back.
Oh, yes. Hussey will have money with which to reimburse AK. You're right. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of Clara's dead aunt's money left for. That's right. All right. Good to know. I'm going to oh, look, we're at the conclusion finally. Oh, wait. Let's look at this part. Monetization requires more than simply posting content. It demands a strategic approach to building an engaged following, negotiating brand deals, and consistently producing high quality, compelling content. Not necessarily. I mean, I can sit here and read documents from lawsuits all damn day and still bring in my coin, sir. I don't know what you're talking about. Wicked Crafter. Thank you so much for the super chat. Preston, the carpet don't match the drapes, sir. Wicked Crafter, you're funny as shit. Thank you for the super chat. All right, where was I? Okay. Brands, advertisers, and sponsors carefully vet potential partners. Okay, again, shut up. Shut up. Given the plaintiff's social media metrics across multiple platforms, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, it is clear that Hussey does not meet the typical qualifications for an influencer. Says who? Sir, you don't meet the typical qualifications for an influencer, not even on your Twitter account with how many no recutters, pear soup, those are jingle bells. Those are Christmas jingle bells I'm jingling. You don't have the subscriber or follower count to meet the typical qualifications for an influencer on your own Twitter, Preston, which I think that's where he had the most subscribers is on freaking Twitter. Yeah, right. Don't fence me in. Carefully vet. Coldest water bottle. Exactly. Don't fence me in. Excellent point. In fact, the plaintiff's activity more closely resembles that of a regular social media user rather than someone actively engaged in monetizing their presence. This is just a flat out lie, and you should be sanctioned for that. You should have known Yaba wouldn't let me touch her tambourine. She lets me touch anything. Conclusion: the ability to monetize social media platforms is intricately tied to follower count, user engagement, consistent views, and subscriptions. See, dude, did you not read the original filing? I mean, I think Hussey made it very, very, very clear how and where and in what manner he produced and generated income on his social media platforms. And that was largely through soliciting direct donations from his subscribers. Exactly, Goovy Dumb Goovy bitch. So he references an industry standard and doesn't provide it. What a clown. Indeed. Creators with larger engaged followers can earn significantly more through advertising revenue, sponsorships, brand partnerships. Yes, but none of these things has Hussey ever claimed were how he was earning any money. These fewer followers or views a creator has, the fewer followers or views a creator has, the less likely they are to financially benefit. Given the plaintiff's relatively small follower count, consistently low engagement, and lack of significant views across multiple platforms, there's no evidence to suggest that Hussey has suffered financial harm as a result of Clara's alleged defamatory statements. Again, sir, where were you a year ago before she settled the original complaint? Because this, my guy, has jack shit fuck all to do with breach of contract. Clara said in her case he was making more. Oh, the judge asked how she knew, and the judge dismissed her claims. Oh, that you know what? You're right. I do remember her saying that. That she said in court that that Hussey did not suffer financial loss, and that in fact he was making more money on social media than he was prior to the lawsuit. Babe, are you listening? If you are, could you see what the hell Jack? Oh, he just spit it out. Oh God, hold on. I think Jack's eating a freaking rock. I can't see. Jesus, freaking dog. See, our dogs are not outside unattended. I have a direct view of the backyard from my window. I need only turn my head and I can keep an eye on my dogs. Clara, fuck off. Oh, look at that. I guess I didn't scroll to see what the other. Oh, that's his resume. Okay. Anyway, further, the plaintiff, Hussey's social media presence does not indicate any substantial brand deals, sponsorships, or other revenue generating activities that could have been negatively impacted. Oh, geez. It is my expert opinion. You know what? That's it. I've declared myself a fucking expert too. Okay. If Preston Mitchum can declare himself a social media expert, then by golly, I too I'm declaring myself a social media expert. It is written. All right. My hourly rate is also $250 an hour, and I'll be your expert witness. Shake it like it's hot. That's right, Alexis. It is my expert opinion that the plaintiff may be attempting to recoup perceived losses for reasons unrelated to Clara's actions. However, from the available data and my understanding of how social media monetization works, the plaintiff's financial situation is unlikely to have been affected by Clara's comments, given that Hussey's social media performance does not support claims of significant financial loss. That's all well and good, Preston, except for the small little fact that is not even in question anymore. The question at hand and before this particular court of law in this particular complaint is whether or not Clara breached the contract. The what is it? What was it again? The non-disclosure, non-disparagement contract. That's the issue at hand. Are you an expert witness for whether or not Clara breached the non-disclosure, non-disparagement agreement? I can't believe that Lucretia read this and submitted it to this court of law regarding this action. You should have done this last year before you advised your client to settle, dummy McDummerton. Gooby dumb, gooby ho, bitch. So if Clara ever comes for someone else, we can use Preston's arguments to prove she isn't an influencer either. That's right, gooby dumb, gooby ho, bitch. Thank you for making that point. Thank you for the super chat. P-Day today. Thank you so much for being a member for 33 months. Make your money, girl. And I shall. Thank you so much. Very good. Thank you for the super chat. I hope you get your Hyundai back from Ronnie, DC, because by the end of next year, you'll be living in it. Oh my God. Very good. That's what we call a banger around here. A banger. Preston just proved how unqualified he is. Lord have mercy. Maxwell, are you watching? You know what? I should submit an invoice to Robert Maxwell at this point. What do you guys think? $250 an hour? I don't know. I think that I am more of a subject matter expert and more valuable to Robert Maxwell's cause than Lucretia Johnson's expert witness. I think I will bill at a rate of $500 per hour. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. $500 per hour. Hey, AK, nice to see you. Glad you could make it. Ron's more of a social media professional than this jabroni. That's right. Hey, Lindsay. Glad you can make it. Better late than never. I am about to wrap up though, so you'll be on the replay, gang, along with AK. Totally fine. Thanks for coming in though. Fauntleroy, I agree. I am worth it. I'm worth $500 an hour for sure. Maxwell, I'll be sending my invoice. I have once again done your fucking job for you. The Guppy, thank you so much for being a member for 14 months. Important. How was the boo bag? I don't know what you're talking about, boo bag. You have to help me out. All right. Wait, who was that? The Guppy. Thank you so much for being a member for 14 months. Forever Basic Betty, you shall be. Thank you so much. What was the boo bag? I'm drawing a blank. Forgive me. All right, so here's Preston Mitchum's resume. Look at that. Professional. Oh, Yaba mentioned it. Oh, mother effer. No, it was not Wendy's. It wasn't the Wendy's boo bag. No. It was the what was it? The Wednesday meal from Burger King, and it sucked. They didn't have the purple bun. So it was just a regular ass Burger King Whopper meal. I didn't know Wendy's had a boo bag. I had no idea. My wife didn't tell me. Anyway, I'll talk to her about it afterwards. Let's look at Preston Mitchum's experience and qualifications. PDM Consulting. Oh my God. Founder and CEO, March 2023 till present. This jabroni has only founded PDM Consulting March of last year, which coincidentally, March of 2023 is when Husseth first filed suit on Clara. All right. The Trevor Project, Director of Federal Advocacy and Government Affairs, July 2021 to February 2023. Okay. Then we have Urge, Unite for Reproductive and Gender Equity. Oh, Director of Policy, August 2019 to July 2021, Senior Leadership Program. I wonder. Anyway, whatever, don't care. Advocates for Youth, Senior Legal and International Policy Analyst, August 2018 to August 2019. Okay. Center for Health and Gender Equity, Senior Policy Analyst, May to August 2017. Policy Research Analyst, August 2015 to May 2017. He doesn't stay put very long, does he? Superior Court of the District of Columbia, Family and Criminal Courts, Judicial Law Clerk, Honorable S. Pamela Gray, and Honorable Errol R. Arthur. Okay. Center for American Progress, Policy Analyst, LGBTQ Policy and Racial Justice. Oh. Okay. Yeah, his resume is not screaming social media expert, is it? Lindsay, Clara's hired a fake social media expert who is on Bravo and associated with her attorney. Thank you, Nicketh Ping. Teaching experience, American University, Washington College of Law, adjunct professor, sexuality, gender identity, and the law. Wow. What was that Clara always says? Adult, female, human. We all know how Clara Hondra and Ronaldo feel about the trans community, don't we? Georgetown University Law Center, adjunct professor, LGBTQ health law and policy, August of 17 to 21. Georgetown University School of Continuing Studies, lecturer, advanced legal research and writing, January 2014 to 2017. Education. American University, Washington College of Law, Master of Laws, LLM, in Law and Government, specializing in gender and law. North Carolina Central University School of Law, Juris Doctor with honors in 2011. That answers that. I wondered. Kent State University, Bachelor of Arts in Political Science with honors, concentration, public policy, 08. Scholarly publications and acknowledgments. Mitchum, that's him. 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 Okay, so that's all him. Okay. Let's see. 2022, queer as in abolishing the police. Okay. Look at this. Beyond bullying, how hostile school climate perpetuates the school to prison pipeline for LGBT youth. Center for American Progress. Slapping the hand of cultural relativism, female genital mutilation, male dominance, and health as a human rights framework. Why the LGBT community still needs the Ryan White program. Homophobia as a public health hazard, gender identities, sexual orientation, and the human rights to health. Screaming to be heard, Black feminism, and the fight for a voice from the 1950s to 1970s. Okay. Look at this. Okay. So op-ed, editorial features, conference presentations. Sorry, I'm just looking for social media. Professional and community service affiliations. Awards and recognition. I'm seeing nothing about social media. Uh-oh. What's this? I think that's just a certification. Yep. All right. Well, that's that. Stop sharing. Whew, oh my God, 2.5 hours. It has been fun. So, yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for that, Clara. We appreciate the entertainment on this fine Friday morning. And with that said, I'm going to get out of here. I'm hungry. It's time to eat. And wait, where's my gavel? My conclusion is anyway, and I am a subject matter expert, and I am going to be billing at a rate of $500 an hour. My expert opinion and analysis is that old Preston is full of shit and like a year late. He doesn't even know what the lawsuit's about. So that's great. Thanks for being here, guys. I will see you hopefully tomorrow. All right. All right. Have a good one. Thanks for all your support.